So team, onto our sled pull. So it's worth noting there is a box from about here to here, which you must stay in while doing the sled pull. So you can't walk back too much with the rope. I'll show you a couple of different options. It's always good to swap between these techniques. If one technique starts to fatigue, you can always switch to the other technique. Also team, the sled rope is pretty long, so you'll have a lot of excess rope to move out of the way. Make sure if you are in a team, your partner is not touching the rope at any point while the other partner is pulling. So it's up to the partner that's doing the sled pull to move that excess rope out of the way so they don't stand on it. So guys, a few techniques we are going to talk through. Make sure once you've chosen which technique works for you, you commit to it and you don't panic on the day and start trying new things that you haven't trained with. So the first one, which I would recommend if you are a smaller, lighter athlete in the pro division and the sled is pretty hefty to move, you might have to go to this technique. So team, with that excess rope, we're going to wrap it around our waist. Remember, you do have a couple of meters, maybe about 1.5 meters, to step back with. So get that wrap around, pull the slack out of the rope, then we're going to walk back. Free grip, and then walk back. Main thing that you want to focus on here is make sure you pull the slack out of the rope. So get right up to this line, pull the slack out of the rope, then start walking back. So you don't want to come here, get a couple of steps, and then only then the sled starts moving. So make sure slack pulled out, the sled's moving as soon as you start moving. So totally different to that last technique. This technique is going to work if you are a stronger athlete, especially in your upper body, and the sled isn't too heavy a weight for you. So maybe those mixed pairs, if you're male or female athlete, it has a strong upper body and you want to save your legs a little bit, then this is going to be a good technique for you. So this is our hand over hand technique. You might not be able to do this for the full sled pull, but if you want to start with this technique, let your legs recover and then switch to another more leg focused technique, then you can. So keeping our legs locked in the same place, we are just going to hand over hand pull, so engaging the lats as much as we can. So big reaches forwards with our hands. Try and get as far forwards as we can and then pull that rope in towards our chest. That one is going to be pretty fatiguing on your upper body, so we don't expect you to do that for the full 50 meters. So our final technique, and one that I think is the most effective, is our hand over hand with a hip thrust. This uses the upper body as well as your strong legs. Just be aware that this will fatigue your hamstrings, your glutes, and your lower back. Getting that slack out of the rope is super important on this one as well. So we want to reach as far forwards as we can with our feet behind the line. We're going to go hand over hand and then use our legs for that final movement. So it's super important to finish off that leg drive. You don't want to go hand over hand and then thrusting to there. Get the most of that movement, squeeze the glutes forwards, really get that pull.